Hello and welcome to another edition of the Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm Jeff Higgins. Here with me is Coach Moore. Coach, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, Jeff.
Yeah. So last week your team went 42-0 against Akron Firestone last night. You got off to a really early lead. How do you talk about that in the locker rooms? How do you tell them to plan for the coming quarter?
Well, we just try to keep one foot in front of the other, and we want to be the same team every week. It shouldn't matter who we're playing. It shouldn't matter what the score is. So we just want to keep playing hard.
All right. Firestone had 130 total yards of rushing last game. So how do you think your defensive line did as a whole?
We did okay. We gave up one long run to the quarterback, which I really didn't like. So we've got things to work on.
With the help of the offensive line, Tiger running back Jameer Thomas went for over 100 yards for the fifth consecutive game. How do you feel of his performance?
I thought it was good. We were playing an overmatched team in Akron Firestone, and in that situation, we just want to come out and take care of business. So, happy with how our entire offense performed. Some guys got some playing time that don't normally get it, and I was happy to see that.
Mm-hmm. As we come to the second half of the season, how do you feel your team is doing with injuries?
Pretty good. We should be as healthy as we've been all year this week.
Mm-hmm. Your team was penalized 7 times for 80 yards last week. Is that concerning to you?
Not really. How penalties are called a lot of times, it really depends on the crew that's there. Everybody calls things different, and I would be concerned if we had 0 penalties for 0 yards, because I think that would be a sign that we're not really playing very hard. Penalties are part of the game. They're going to happen. You definitely want to try to minimize them. But as long as we don't have a bunch of lack of focus or lack of character penalties, then I think you got to take some of the other ones.
Okay. In a moment, we'll hear from Coach Moore and a Tiger player. But first, a word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable. Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Joining Coach Moore and I is safety and wide receiver Dean Clark. Dean, how does it feel to be 5-0 this season?
It's a great feeling. Start off well, 5-0 with everybody healthy. We're just focusing on launching forward in the season.
As a leader on this year's team, what are you doing to keep your teammates focused on game to game instead of looking too far ahead?
Biggest thing is taking one game at a time. Preparation the week before a game is what we really key on, because if you're not prepared for the Friday night games, then you won't have an opportunity to look forward in the season.
All right. Tell us about your position coaches and their coaching styles.
My receiver coach is Coach Cale Miller. He's a real forward guy, straightforward guy. And then Coach Hagenbrack, he's a tough on you type of guy, and loves physicality.
All right. So describe your feelings when you come racing out of that Tiger tunnel on game night.
That's probably the best feeling out of anything besides winning. When you get to run out of that tunnel and see all the fans with all your teammates beside you, you can't beat it.
All right. And finally, the Tigers play the Falcons this week. Tell us what you know about the Falcons.
They're a very well-coached, disciplined team. They like to, on the offense side of the ball, they like to throw a lot of formations at you, try to get you off your keys. So this week we're really focused on staying focused and disciplined, reading our keys, and playing hard football.
All right. Thank you, Dean. Coach Moore, how has Dean's role in the team changed from his junior year to his senior year?
Really, it's pretty similar. Dean was one of our really important leaders last season, and that's certainly carried over into this year. But Dean's one of those guys that you wish you had 100 of them. Does everything right. does everything right in the school building, in the classroom. He's a 4.0 student, and is a great football player to boot. So really proud of Dean, and he's doing a great job as a leader for us.
Right. So far this season, Fitch is off to a 4-1 lead. So can you tell us a bit more about their program and a bit of the history between Massillon and Fitch?
Yeah, Fitch, for us, Fitch feels like a league game because we play them every year, so there's a lot of familiarity. Coach Annarella has been a really well thought of head coach for a long time, does a really nice job. So the Fitch teams are always well coached. The kids always play really, really hard. It's always a great challenge, and recently, especially recently, Fitch has done as well against Massillon as anybody. I think before we won in 2016, I think it had been 3 straight losses against Fitch for the Tigers. So, his teams have done well against us, and I'm sure they're looking to come into Paul Brown Tiger Stadium and pull off an upset.
All right. What can you tell us about the Fitch offense?
Fairly balanced. They play 2 quarterbacks. Throw the ball a lot more than they have probably in the last 2 years. Have a real speedster at receiver in number 1. The Fitzgerald kid wore 7 last year. Wears 1 this year. Almost all of their big explosive plays have been through 1.
Okay. And how about their defense?
Traditionally, Fitch is an odd stack cover 3 team, and they are mixing it up this year in a lot of ways. They still play the odd stack, but they also get into more of a 3-4 look at times. They've been some 4-down looks at times. So a lot more variety this year out of Fitch than in years past.
And finally, what are the overall keys to a Tiger win this Friday night?
I think the keys this week are that we do a really good job against the run, and also establish the run offensively, and then turnovers, protecting the ball, especially on offense. Limiting turnovers is going to be really important.
Okay. That's all the time we have for the Nate Moore Show. We'd like to thank Coach Nate Moore and Dean Clark for coming out with us. Also, thanks to our sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Jeff Higgins, and as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Welcome to another edition of Swing, featuring Tiger Swing Band director Jason Neel. We're on the air with you every Wednesday night following the Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Howard's Tiger Regs in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Maddie Kaufman, and with me is Mr. Neel. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Maddie.
This past weekend was very special in a lot of ways for the Tiger Swing Band. At last Friday night's football game, the weather caused some changes in your planned halftime show. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, I will tell you that Friday was one of the most unique days that I've ever experienced as a band director, in terms of we knew we had a really exciting show planned, and we didn't know what the weather was going to do. And we were worried that a lot of people might not show up because of the weather. And so we waited all day. We tried to make a decision on what show we were going to do, and we actually had 2 different shows ready to go. And we actually waited till 7:35 to decide what halftime show we were going to do. When we saw the crowd, when we saw the weather finally pass through, we ultimately decided that we would save our big show for October 5th. So we're going to postpone that, and we repeated a show that we had done 2 weeks earlier road trip show. And so it was just the unknown of the weather, but more importantly, because we've had weather before, but I've never had 2 halftime shows ready to go and make a decision like that during the game. So it was definitely unique, and I think we made the right decision because there weren't a lot of people there at halftime. So we're glad we saved our big show for a future date.
On Saturday afternoon in Columbus, one of your former Massillon band members got to dot the I in Script Ohio for the Ohio State Marching Band. I'm sure this was exciting for you as a number of reasons, right?
Oh, absolutely. Dan McCullough, class of 2014 here from Washington High School, first Massillon Tiger Swing Band alumni to ever dot the I in Script Ohio, and having marched in that band myself and being the director here and being good friends with the family. I mean, it was just a really special moment for him, obviously, and for all of us. We were proud of Dan, and the only downside is we had our band show that night, so I couldn't be in Columbus to witness it firsthand, but got to see it on television and video, and just super proud of Dan and all he accomplished, because he never played the sousaphone in high school, and he was our drum major here, and he became a member of the sousaphone section as a junior in college, and so as a 5th-year student he's dotting the I. So just a really cool story, and thanks for asking that question. Just a cool day for Dan.
Will the band be participating in the large high school band show at Ohio State this year?
Yes, and in fact it's this Saturday, September 29th. We were invited to perform again at the Buckeye Invitational Band Show, and just a cool day to be able to take our kids to Ohio Stadium, and just a great venue. We'll be performing at 6:30 p.m. and we're going to perform our road trip show that we had done. So it was kind of nice last week to get another run through of that before we take it to Columbus, and we'll have a chance to see the Ohio State Marching Band and watch Dan, and we had another member, Cody Hawkins, from the same class. They're both 5th years in the band, so we have 2 Massillon alumni in that band. And just a neat day for our kids. We love going down there and performing in that show, and we get feedback from the Ohio State Marching Band directors on how we're doing, and really looking forward to that show again this year.
And then on Saturday night, the annual board review featured 9 other bands and our own swing band. Can you summarize this evening for us?
Yeah, we had, that was, you're talking about last Saturday, the 22nd, we had the Tiger Band Review, and we had 9 visiting bands, and nice crowd, wonderful weather, wasn't too hot, nice and cool marching weather. Every band did a great job performing, and we did get to premiere our big Disney show for the crowd, and they just loved it, just going crazy the whole time we were on the field. In fact, we got a standing ovation in the middle of the show. So that confirmed for me that we waited, and we didn't perform that show for a small crowd at Tiger Stadium. We wanted to wait and do it for a larger crowd. I think they're really going to love it on October 5th. Come see our Disney show. And hopefully we got great weather on October 5th. That's the one thing we're really still hoping for. So.
And now this word from Howard's Tiger Rags.
Massillon fans all know the best place to find great Tiger apparel and much more is Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Howard's Tiger Rags is proud to sponsor the Swing TV show on WHS-TV. How about a new football t-shirt and hat? See their cold weather items and Letterman jackets too. Need a hoodie? Howard's has nearly 300 in stock all the time. Don't forget about their infant and toddler apparel, tiger mugs, and framed wall art. They'll even help you get ready for prom. Visit Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Follow them on Facebook and give them a like.
Thank you, Howard's Tiger Rags. One of the aspects of the band we haven't talked about yet is the majorette line. Who are your majorettes this year, and which staff oversees them?
Well, we have 7 majorettes in the band this year. 1 senior, 1 junior, 1 sophomore, and 4 freshmen. And they are Diamond Haverstock, Katie Snodgrass, Riley Cecil, and the 4 freshmen are Kaylee Haddad, Molly Hodge, Morgan Hannon, and Lauren Neel. And our advisor is Mrs. Gina Doherty, and she's been here a long time advising our majorettes, and she was actually in the band here, was a feature majorette here in the swing band. And I think that line's doing a very nice job, especially for being so young. And our squad leaders, Diamond and Katie, are doing a great job with that line. And we've worked hard to try to make sure that they're, incorporated into all the routines that we're doing, and just happy with our majorette line this year. Thanks for asking that.
Who is your drum major this year?
Our drum major is Keaton Gibbs, and this is his second year as the drum major. And he seems to be improving every week, and he's done just a fabulous job for us. And I know Keaton's one of his goals is to try out for Ohio State's drum major. So we're wishing him well, and glad to see his progress as we've been going along too.
In what areas have you seen the most improvement in the band so far this season?
I think that I'm just seeing a little bit more confidence just in everybody in general. The more shows we do, they get just more confident in their playing and their marching and all the things we're asking them to do. And we're in the middle of a really tough stretch right now. We're 3 shows into a six home games in a row. And like I said, I'm proud of the band with how they've responded to that challenge. And each week, I think they get just a little bit more confident. And I don't know if the crowd senses that or not, but I definitely see that in little things from day to day. The putting together of a routine or the show, and just happy with the way we're progressing right now. And it's we're halfway through our regular season, and still a lot of exciting things ahead.
This Friday night's game is against Fitch. What can you tell us about this week's halftime show?
Well, this week we've invited our 7th and 8th grade bands to join us. So we are looking forward to what we call junior high marching night. So we got about 100 to 120 7th and 8th graders going to be joining us for our last 2 numbers of halftime. So we'll perform our opening routine, followed by one song with just the high school band, and then we'll invite the 7th and 8th graders onto the field. And our theme this week is the Beatles. So a lot of fun music. We're doing a medley of Hard Day's Night, Magical Mystery Tour, I Saw Her Standing There, and then we'll have the 7th and 8th grader join us for She Loves You and Hey Jude. So a lot of fun Beatles music, and hope the crowd enjoys it. I think it should be a cool show.
We want to thank Mr. Neel, director of the Tiger Swing Band, for being here this week on Swing. Our show is sponsored each week by Howard's Tiger Eggs in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Maddie Kaufman, here with Mr. Neel. Thank you for watching.
I joined cosmetology because I've always loved coloring hair and different colors and makeup.
I joined media because I've always had a passion for all things related to media.
I've always had a passion for teaching other people, especially topics that I'm interested in.
I want to pursue a career as an orthopedic surgeon. And so when I saw that we had this class, I immediately circled it on my schedule and was excited to join.
This class has made me better because it made me very responsible.
I like the relationships that I've developed in this class. The girls that are in here with me, I've really grown close with all of them.
I joined this class because I enjoy helping others and I want to make a difference.
Even just making something and having people go, wow, that's really interesting. It means the world.
It was just a really good environment to be in. It was real hands-on, and it was just something I really wanted to do.
I joined the construction trades to gain experience in the job I want in the future.
Everything that this class has taught me will account for my career in the future.
Before I came to this class, I was unemployed, and Ms. Markley helped me get a job.
I'm going to use what I learned in manufacturing in order to better decide my career.
It gave me more knowledge on cars and gave me plans to go in the auto industry.
Massillon CTE works for me.
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 Works for me.
For me.
For me.
For me.
Massillon CTE works for me.